All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to continue our discussion on environmental issues in Europe. We are going to focus now on acid rain.
All right. So we're going to be talking first about Germany. All right, Germany.
Ooh, what happened to those forests? What do we think happened?
Come on, scientists.
Well, let's take a look. What do we see? There are no leaves. They're just the bare trees. There's a clear sky. I don't see any clouds. So what could have happened? I see there's a man singing in the rain. Come on, give us a little tune, Mr. Mays.
All right. Now, what type of rain do you think he's singing in?
Wet rain?
Oh, it looks like acid rain.
Acid
Oh, yuck.
rain.
Does that mean he's just going to drop dead?
No, I think you can pretty much survive if you've got a bunch of acid rain on you. Can you, scientists?
You can survive. What acid rain does over time is actually wears things down, and the cool science term for that is weathering. Okay, so when you get all these acids in the atmosphere from burning fossil fuels, it gets collected into the clouds, and then it falls in the rain back to Earth, and over time it will basically just break things down or weather those things.
Oh, shuck it up.
So I know my students were asking me, is it like acid? If somebody throws acid on your face and you melt? No, that's different. That would be like sulfuric acid. You don't want to mess with that stuff. But acid rain is just bad, more so for the environment and things.
Yes.
Okay.
So it looks like it's caused lots of problems, and over the past 30 years, it's been a problem.
Yeah, it contaminates soil, kills trees, eats holes in the... How does it eat a hole in a building?
So we call that chemical weathering. We're actually going to talk about that in science in the next couple of weeks. But the chemicals that are in that rain, it says eat, but basically it's just it breaks it down. So it breaks down the surfaces, so the holes form because those materials basically disintegrate or disappear or go away.
What happened here?
So it looks like one of those trees was hit by that acid rain over time, little by little. Looks like some discoloration.
And eventually it's going to lose all those leaves.
Yeah, it'd be like drinking dirty water in your body. So if that's the water that's available in hitting those needles and it's absorbing all that water from the soil, then your body in the same token would be kind of sick. So that's what's happening to those trees.
So what are the causes of acid rain?
Well, air pollution.
Exactly. Air pollution is an effect. Air pollution is a cause of acid rain, and acid rain is an effect of air pollution, right? So they kind of go together. So a lot of the causes for air pollution are also a lot of the causes for acid rain.
Okay, and so most of the air pollution comes from the factories?
Yeah, and Germany, big time, has lots of factories. What do a lot of those factories make? If you look in that bottom left-hand corner, that's the big business in Germany.
Cars! Oh, yeah. See, I drive a VW. Love it.
Lucky you.
So why are factories smelly in Germany? Do they not wear deodorant? I'm confused.
Yeah. Factories are pretty well known for that.
Because they burn chemicals?
Because they burn fossil poop and it stinks? Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you don't want to breathe the factory fumes because it smells like burnt poop.
Interesting. Okay. And this is why people who live next to factories get sick.
Well, I see this pathway. This is an excellent illustration of acid rain pathway. So I see you've got the smoke from the factory coming up and going into the atmosphere. And then you've got a couple of different types of precipitation. Precipitation is when the rain comes back down to earth in some form. So it can be wet like rain or it can be frozen like snow. It comes back down to the earth and then it gets in our rivers and in our streams. And then I bet those fish are not having a good day. They've got smelly factory pollution in their stream now. What do you think is going to happen if, Mr. Mays, do you like to fish?
Yes, I love fishing.
So I would not suggest fishing in this area, because if you catch that fish and decide to eat it, you're ingesting all of those pollutants that the fish absorbed from being in that water.
Shucky ducky.
So that takes us to our effects, right? It's definitely going to be harming the fish that are in those polluted lakes from the acid rain, but also the soil.
And other stuff.
Yes, crop rotation is not going to save this soil, you guys.
And what do you notice in with those statues down there? That's what Miss Schultz was talking about before.
That's kind of spooky looking, actually. So you see on the left there, that was what the statue probably originally looked like, maybe a little bit old. And on the right, that's the weathering, that's the breaking down of that statue from that acid rain over a long period of time. Now, guys, this did not happen after one rain shower. This happened over many, 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 many years. 100 years, actually. I'm looking at the dates over there. But it literally ate away some of that, the cement or the material that was made to make that statue, and now there is no face, and that's kind of spooky to me. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Now, this is how Germany dealt with the problem. Oh, crappy crap.
A lot of the solutions are very similar to what the UK is doing, right? We want to be using some alternative energy sources like solar power, wind, energy, cleaner fuels.
Do you guys remember what alternative is another word for? Mr. Mays, pop quiz.
Renewable.
Renewable.
Yes.
All right.
All right. This part right here, make sure you get this part. The German government has worked closely with the auto industry to peel back some of the air pollution.
You mean auto as an automobile, like cars?
Yes.
Okay. So they're trying to stop the use of fossil fuel dependent vehicles?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I want a car like that.
Yeah, so this is an hybrid.
Do you know that teachers can't afford cars like this?
Yes, and maybe they cost more on the front end, but then they're cheaper after you have it, because then you don't have to buy that gas, right?
It's like a lot of alternative energy sources. It costs a lot to get it, and then the energy is free afterwards. Or close to free, maybe.
All right, that concludes our talk about acid rain. Good job.